Look, be honest with me for a second. Have you ever filled out a bank form and they asked you for your income and you just typed it in without thinking? Like it's normal, like it's harmless, like it's just part of the process. Yeah, that's exactly what I used to do too. But here's the thing. That one number you give them, it completely changes how they treat you, how much they profit from you, and in some cases, how much debt you end up in. And once you see how this works, you're never going to look at that question the same way again. My name is Zenvest, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money systems are designed to work against you. If you're someone who feels like no matter how hard you work, you're always one step behind financially, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're breaking down something almost nobody talks about. Section 1. The lie we all believe. Here's what most people think. Banks ask for your income to make sure you can afford things. Sounds reasonable, right? Responsible even. But look, that's only half the truth. Because here's what most people don't realize. Banks don't make money when you succeed financially. They make money when you stay just stable enough, but never fully free. Section 2. The real reason they ask. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible. Banks are not guessing your behavior. They are calculating it. Your income tells them three powerful things: how much debt you can handle, how much interest you'll tolerate, how long they can keep you paying, and this is where it gets really interesting. Because once they know your income, they don't just approve or reject you, they optimize you. Section 3. The $3,000 vs. $10,000 example. Let's say two people walk into a bank. Same age, same credit score, but different incomes. Person A earns $3,000 a month. Person B earns $10,000 a month. Now you'd think person B is in a better position, right? More income equals more freedom. But here's what actually happens. The bank looks at person A and says, okay, we can safely trap this person with maybe a $5,000 credit limit. But person B, this person can handle $25,000, maybe even $50,000. And suddenly, the higher earner isn't safer. They're just exposed to bigger traps. Section 4. The psychology trap. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I won't overspend. I'm disciplined. Yeah, most people think that until the system starts working on them, because here's the psychological shift that happens. When your limit increases, your brain adjusts what feels normal. A $200 purchase feels big until your limit is $20,000. Then, suddenly, $200 feels like nothing. And that's not an accident. That's behavioral design. Section 5. Shocking statistic. According to reports from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, people with higher credit limits are significantly more likely to carry larger balances. Not because they need to, but because access changes behavior. And here's the crazy part. Interest rates don't scale with your discipline. They scale with your risk profile, which means the more you earn, the more sophisticated the trap becomes. Section 6. The soft trap strategy. Banks don't want you drowning in debt. That's too risky. They want you in what I call the soft trap, where you can afford the minimum payments, you feel in control, but you never actually escape because, let's do the math. Say you have a $10,000 balance at 20% interest, minimum payment, around $200. Feels manageable, right? But here's what most people don't realize. At that rate, you could be paying for years and end up paying thousands extra without ever feeling in trouble. Section 7. Why income makes this worse now. Here's where your income becomes dangerous. Higher income equals higher limits equals higher lifestyle equals higher fixed costs. And suddenly, you're not rich, you're just expensive. Section 8. The lifestyle inflation loop. Let's break this down. You start earning more. So, you upgrade. Better phone, better car, better house. Your expenses rise to match your income. And banks see this happening in real time because you told them your income. So they keep increasing your limits, offering you loans, pre-approving you for things you didn't even ask for, and it feels like opportunity. Now you might be thinking, okay, but they need my income to approve me, right? Yes, but not always in the way you think. There's a difference between verifying. Most systems are built for the second one. Section 10. The real game here is the game banks are playing. They want to find your financial ceiling and bring you just below it. Not above it, not below it, right under it. So you're always using credit, paying interest, staying dependent. Section 11. The silent upgrade strategy. Have you ever noticed this? You didn't ask for a higher limit, but suddenly your bank increased it. That's not generosity. That's data. They've been watching your income, your spending, your patterns, and they know exactly when to push you further. Section 12. The debt illusion. Here's what makes this dangerous. You don't feel like you're losing because you're not struggling. You're comfortable, but comfortable debt is still debt. And, over time, it quietly drains your wealth. Section 13. What smart people do differently. Now here's where everything changes. People who understand this system do something very different. They don't optimize for approval. They optimize for control. Asterisk. Section 14. Actionable steps. Let's make this practical. 1. Stop over-reporting. Incomely provide what's necessary. Don't inflate it. Don't volunteer extra details. 2. Cap your own limit. If your bank increases your limit, you don't have to use it. In fact, lowering your usable limit can protect you psychologically. 3. Thinking cash, not credit. Train your brain to see purchases as real money, not available balance. Point 4. Avoid lifestyle inflation every time your income increases. Don't upgrade everything. Upgrade your investments instead. 5. Use credit strategically, not emotionally, not impulsively, only when it serves a purpose. Section 15. The bigger truth. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed, just not for you. Section 16. Final perspective shift. Look, banks aren't evil, but they're not your friend either. They're businesses. And your income, that's not just information, it's leverage. Asterisk. So the next time a bank asks you, how much do you make? Don't just see it as a question, see it as a strategy. Because once you understand the game, you stop playing it blindly. And you start playing it smart. If this changed the way you think about money, hit that like button. Subscribe to Zenvest, and I'll see you in the next one.